Hi, I'm Michelai Graham, the Technically DC Market Editor. Technically is a news site that grows local technology communities by connecting organizations and people through news, events, and services. This is Technically DC Diaries, a pilot interview series where I will talk to local technologists and startup leaders about themselves and why they do the hard and good work that they do. For this edition, I have with me Lucas McCanna, Digital Marketing Manager at KitCheck. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited for the interview.
Awesome. All right, let's hop into it. So first, tell me, how did you first get into technology slash entrepreneurship? It's so
Sure,
we've
sure.
known each other for a few years now, and I feel like you've gone through a few
I
different
know, right? You used to
things.
sit right next to me, so
I
I'm just like
know.
rolling on through. Uh, I think it really started in college. I launched a few organizations, and I just knew that I liked building things from scratch.
Yeah.
I didn't officially go into a startup realm until I think my junior year, where I worked for an alumni who had a company that worked at music festivals,
Yeah.
and they did cell phone charging and sold lockers. And so it was super scrappy. Like we would go to a warehouse, load everything up, fly to somewhere in the US or Canada, and then just like plop out and go for it. So it was one boss and a pile of interns just running this whole shop for, I think we did maybe 15 festivals over 3 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I love the fast paced part of
Yeah.
it, which is why I knew that I wanted to go to 1776,
Yeah.
is there was so much going on. I think when I first started, there was maybe like 60 staff members and around over 1,500 startups. And so I always wanted to build my own business one day. And I was like, what's a better place to go than an incubator?
Yeah.
So
For sure.
kind of hopped around, went to work for a startup for a short period in fintech. And now I'm in the healthcare space. I just
Awesome.
can't get away from it. I have the bug.
Right. So tell me, what does a day in the life of a digital marketing manager really look like? What are you doing?
Sure. So I think it's a lot different than what marketing was before COVID. And I'm sure everyone's trying to say that for whatever they're working on. But a lot of it is really focused on what can we get in front of someone that's not an email. Like we need to be more interactive. We need to be more fun. I'll give you an example. We have this big conference coming up and we're thinking about, okay, what's something that would set us apart? And we're thinking of doing a cameo with someone who plays like a pharmacist or doctor from a TV show to
Yeah.
do like the opening monologue.
Yeah.
So we have to like make it fun, energetic, exciting, but it's also marketing's now a science. So you have to look at the data. You have to see why people are going to your website. You have to figure out how to have that personal experience without being face to face like we are now.
Yeah, for sure. So tell me, what's great about the DC tech community and what can it do better?
Sure. I think the thing that's great is everyone's always down to stay in touch.
Yeah.
So even though I'm not at 1776, I think I still talk to everyone that I met there,
For sure.
and that's one of the best parts. You can always just plug right back in when you need to. It's not something that you just leave on the table and it's never going to come back.
Yeah.
I think an area that we can improve is really focusing on the type of tech that we're uh, building in the DC area. So a lot of it is really focused on regulatory industries. But I think there's areas for like tech around disabilities or tech around fitness that may not be traditional for the DC market just because of where we're located, but we have plenty of resources to support it.
Absolutely. I like that. So tell me, how has your work-life balance been since working from home?
Oh man, it sucked to be honest. So
What do you like and what do you not so much like about it?
the thing that I don't like, it's only like one thing, is you never know when you're plugging off. So you are almost always on just because you don't really look at the clock anymore and you're not walking around the office and having your little breaks.
Yeah.
The thing that I love is the flexibility. And a thing that switched for our work culture is now we're remote first. And so that allows any of our staff to go live wherever they want.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of an exciting change. I've always wanted to be remote first. And like when I'm looking into the future, it will let me go back to the Midwest, but still keep a job with DC Tech.
Yeah, for sure. So what does recharging on the weekends look like for you? What do you do for fun?
So I've started to do like little pop-up brunches with my friends where we do
Oh,
potlucks.
yeah.
And I used to do this thing before COVID where I would throw murder mystery parties.
Oh
And
my God, stop.
yeah,
I would
and at
die.
first everyone is like, oh my God, do I want to do this? It sounds weird. But then once they hit that door, they're like full in costume. They have a different
Yes.
accent. They're a different person. And it just kind of keeps it more lively, especially since we can't go out to bars or any of those things right now. It's
Yeah.
better to just throw fun things inside your house.
Oh, wow. I would love that. I actually had bought a game from Target that was like a whole murder mystery like setup, and you had invitations you can mail out to your
Oh, yeah,
friends.
we did that. We did that.
Yeah.
We did awards. We
Oh
like
my
everyone was
God.
mailed their character before they came. It
Oh,
was
that's so
fun.
fun. That's so fun. All right. I'm like intrigued now. I'm gonna have to look into this more. And see if we can recreate it virtually. So where do you hope to be in 5 years? You just mentioned how, you're happy to be a part of a remote first company. I imagine you want to be somewhere else in 5 years, maybe?
Yeah, so I think I actually want to build my own company by then.
Yeah.
So I'm going through my MBA program now at the University of Illinois, and
So,
one of the tracks that I did was entrepreneurship.
mm,
And it was exciting because we were able to take my idea and then with my different peers build out what the business plan looks like, how we would go about it in the future. And it kind of gave me a groundwork to take the ideas that I've always wanted to launch into a business and actually fulfill that. I think just really understanding the different aspects of a business is crucial for any entrepreneur. Like in any of the interviews you had, everyone started in an industry and then just noticed something needed to change.
yeah. Mhm.
And so my idea, which if anyone wants to take it, it's fine, is doing like live stream events through VR where you could watch a concert in your living room, or you could watch like the FIFA World Cup by just putting a whole headset on and you feel like you're there. So
I mean,
perfect for
that'd be
COVID
great. I
times.
was about to say that'd be great for right now,
Yeah,
honestly.
should have done it a year ago, right? Like, always missed the opportunity. But I want to be my own boss one day, and I think 5 years is a good time frame to look
Absolutely, I agree. So tell me what motivates you every day.
at. Right now, especially for the job, is we're actually helping people. So we are focused on pharmacies and hospitals, and as everyone knows, they are so overwhelmed with COVID.
Absolutely.
And there's things like diversion where people are actually using abusive drugs, and it's the pharmacists and the staff that need the help. And our software allows them to detect that. So, kind of that real world traction of your product to what's happening in the environment, it gives you a little bit of hope and also motivation that you're making a difference. Instead of, I always use this example and I don't know why, but instead of like building the next Angry Birds app,
Yeah.
where it's like it's fun to play and it's great. I want to see my product change someone's life, or like what I'm marketing. I want someone to use this and say, "Wow, my life is so much easier now that I'm using this because it was something that I just needed, but no one had it."
Yeah. And I mean, that's not a bad example. I would say too, like what you guys are doing at Kid Check, I think there will always be a need for it, just how the output might change. I mean, are we gonna really honestly always need Angry Birds? I don't think so.
Yeah,
So
I know.
it's not a bad, that's not a bad thing to say. All right. So if you could describe yourself in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
Sure, I would say confident, adventurous, and then talkative. So ever since I was maybe like in 6th grade, I always got
Yeah.
the most talkative award. And I could just talk someone's ear off, like talk to a brick, talk to a tree. So
Right.
I think I'm a very social person, and that's what's allowed me to grow in my career as well as grow. Like moving from Chicago to here, I didn't know anyone.
Yeah.
So just being outgoing and just really being extroverted helped launch who I am today.
Yeah, for sure. I always got in high school, like my senior year, I got the biggest flirt award. And I'm like, I don't know if I should be happy about that, or like, do you
Yeah,
think I'd just be out here being mixy? But I always thought those awards were really fun. And I'm like, they're going to live in our yearbook forever. Like, that's in my yearbook.
yeah. You're secretly like you meant most popular, not biggest flirt.
Exactly.
I think you misspelled a few words.
Exactly. All right. Any last words before we wrap up? This could be your time to share any upcoming events, job openings, or announcements for Kid Check, or anything you want to share yourself.
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest things that I wanted to share with someone that I really focused on COVID is the power of like personal letters. So this year I wrote a letter to everyone that either helped me get in my MBA program, was a mentor to me, or was someone that really focused on developing my career.
Yeah.
And it just was so powerful. Like you're not getting to see like Penny Lee is a big mentor to me, but I don't get to see her as often. And
Yeah.
so just writing that simple card made the difference. It kept our relationship going. And I want people to think of what they can do outside of LinkedIn to build those relationships now that we're not really in front of each other.
Absolutely. It's so funny you say that. You made me think just now. I have a card right here from a friend from back home in California. She just sent me a thank you note, and I thought it was just the sweetest thing. And I like hit her up, like, you never know, like it just came out of nowhere. We
Yeah.
communicate a lot, but that's someone I don't see. Like I don't think I've seen her since high school, but we've kept in touch over the last 10 years, and our relationship has just grown in different ways. So I like
It's
that.
so unexpected, right? Like it's
Yeah.
something that you value and you go to your mailbox and you're like, mail's dead. Oh wait, someone just sent me something.
Exactly, exactly. I like that. All right, thank you so much. This was so good. This has been Technically DC Diaries. I'm Michelai Graham. Thanks for watching and listening.